Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is a place for farm owners, farm lovers, agripreneurs looking for ways to make profit from their farm and also thinking of starting up an agri-business. And today's series is a new update on the channel. I decided to introduce this update to the channel because I noticed that people tend to drop questions in the comment section, and most times I do answer them inbox. Do you understand? So I feel it will be right for me to answer it here, so that in case you have questions like this, you can also come back to this video and watch. Okay, and this series is called the expert series, expert advice series. So this series, I'll be giving you advice, I'll be answering your questions. The ones that I cannot answer, I'm going to bring in an expert to answer the questions for you. Okay, so if you're interested in videos like this, or you like videos like this, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so that you get updates on videos like this, and let's get started. All right, so the very first question that made it to our expert advice series is this: the most profitable crop in 2021. So this person is asking, he said, I need advice on this based on the following factors. He has his own factors. Okay, he said, I have 1 million startup capital. I'm considering crops that can yield in less than 5 months with high profitability and with less risk. So we are looking at 5 months crop, high profitability, less risk. Our startup capital is 1 million naira, and the person is saying crops only. So what would be my advice? You want to know what it is? The first thing I'm going to advise is, considering the capital and considering the fact that you're not looking at long-term goal. One, there is no business that doesn't have risk, and I like the fact that you said less risk, because when it comes to crop, a lot of factors can affect the profitability of your crop, especially weather and water. Okay, but I'm not going to just dive in. I need to let you know all this so that you will know what we are working on. For 1 million naira capital, I would advise you lease a land. In some locations, you can get a land for a year between 10,000 to 20,000 per year. So I would suggest you lease your land. So let's get started. How do you spend 1 million naira and make profit from 1 million naira? Lease 3 acres of land. Everything I'm saying now is my own suggestion, my own opinion. Okay, it might differ from your own particular opinion. Do you understand? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to advise you is lease 3 acres of land. Just 3. Taking my advice, 3. So let's say we are leasing the 3 acres of land for 20,000 naira per year. So we are paying 60,000 naira for leasing. Okay, so that's the first thing. It has been sorted. The next thing, make sure you have a source of water. So because we are leasing the land, I would advise you to get a tank, and the normal GP tank, and load it with water. It is important. I don't want to pick maybe rainy season or dry season. I'm working with any of the season. So make sure you have a GP tank with water in it. I'm not going to include it for this, or maybe I should include it because I don't really know how much they sell a GP tank, but make sure it is available there. Okay, so let's say we got our GP tank for 150,000 naira with water in it. So we spent 150 plus 60,000 naira. We spent 210,000 naira. We are left with 790,000 naira. So we've talked about land, we've talked about water. The next thing I'm going to advise you to do, working on 1 million naira, is get 3 farm workers for the 3 acres, or 4 farm workers. I would say get 4 farm workers for the 3 acres. And now the farm workers will be paying them 25,000 naira monthly, or depending on your negotiation. But I'm using 25,000 naira monthly year. Okay, 25,000 naira monthly, that's 100,000 naira for the 4 farm workers. In 6 months, we are working on 6 months, though his own time is 5 months, but let's work on 6 months. In 6 months, you are going to pay them 600,000 naira. So that has been settled. Now we've talked about land, we've talked about water, we've talked about farm workers. Now the farm workers that we've hired will clear your land for you. They will do all the land, so you don't need to spend money on land preparation. They are going to handle it. Okay, so we spent 600,000 naira on farm workers. We spent 150,000 naira to provide water on the farm. We've also spent 60,000 naira to get the land. Okay, so with our remaining balance, what crop will we do within this 5 months to make our money back? Now I'm going to advise you to go for pepper. I'm going to advise you to go for maize. I'm going to advise you to go for cucumber. Yes, pepper is a 4 months crop, maize is a 65 days crop, cucumber is a 45 days crop. So we are going to plant cucumber twice within that period of time. Within the 6 months, we are going to plant cucumber twice. We're also going to plant maize twice, 65 days, 65 days. That should be 5 months. or 6 months range. We are going to plant maize twice, and we are going to plant pepper once. Okay, so let's say our cost for seed of the 3 crops is 60,000 naira. That's the cost to get seed per acre for the 3 crops is 60,000 naira. So we've settled seed, we've settled crops that we want to plant on that acre. Also, let's talk about the management. Maybe you need fertilizer, you need herbicide, or maybe an emergency came up on the farm. We are going to leave 50,000 naira for miscellaneous. We'll add them all together. I don't think that should have gotten to like a million naira. If things are done right, these crops listed are the most profitable crops I can give you for the period of time you're asking for. 5 months crop, so I've given you pepper. 4 months crop, I've given you maize that will be planting twice on your farm. 65 days crop, so let's say it's 5 months crop. Also cucumber, 45 days crop, so let's just say like 4 months crop as well. So it will be planted on each acre of land. Don't forget we got 3 acres of land, so these crops will be planted on each acre of land. Okay, so now that I've known the crop we want to plant, let's talk about the profitability. What is the profit margin? And when I'm talking about profit margin, I used to talk with the lowest money, the lowest price this commodity will go in the market. But when you harvest, it might be more than that. But what I'm going to tell you now is the lowest. Okay, so working on an acre, let's take cucumber on an acre. You are going to harvest between 150 to 200 bags on an acre or more. So 150 to 200 bags on an acre or more, but we are working with 150. A bag is going for 3,000 naira, the least price. It can go as high as 5,000 naira, but we are working with the least price. A bag is going for 3,000 naira. So let's multiply it. 150 times 3,000 naira for the bag. That's 450,000 naira. Our first harvest. Don't forget we are going to plant cucumber twice on that farm. Okay, so our very first harvest on that acre of land from cucumber is 450,000 naira. We are going to multiply by 2. Because we are planting it twice, that is 900,000 naira or more. Don't forget I'm using the lowest profit margin here. Okay, also let's talk about maize. How many bags will we harvest on an acre of land? So let's just say 75 to 150, but let's use 75 here. Okay, so 75, and a bag as of the last time I sold maize was going for 3,000 naira. It can sell for more depending on the period of time you harvest. Okay, so let's calculate it. 75 bags times 3,000 naira, that is going to give us 225,000 naira. Okay, so we are planting this one twice, so that's giving us 450,000 naira if I am correct. So we've made 450,000 naira on maize. We've made 900,000 naira on cucumber. That's for planting it twice. Okay, now let's talk about pepper. The money pepper is going to give us within that period of time. Okay, so talking about pepper, your location will determine the kind of pepper you'll be planting. I don't want to go into details on that. Your location will determine the kind of pepper you'll be planting. So because my location tends to get this bawa chili pepper a lot, we are going to be working with chili pepper. And a bag of chili pepper, when it is very scarce, is 25,000 naira. But at its cheapest price, it's sell between 10,000 to 19,000 naira. Okay, but currently, as of now, a bag of chili pepper is going for 18,000 naira. So I'll be using 10,000 naira to calculate it. Okay, so on an acre, worst case scenario, let's say we're harvesting 30 bags. Yes, worst case scenario, let's say we're harvesting 30 bags or 25 bags. Let's stick with 25 bags or more. It can be more, but let's just say we are harvesting 30 bags on an acre. So 30 bags times 10,000 naira, that's 300,000 naira from pepper. So we made 300,000 naira from pepper within 5 months. We made 450,000 naira on maize within 5 months. We also made 900,000 naira on cucumber within 5 months. So check it and see the one you want to go into. I think these crops are what I'm going to advise you to go into as a newbie. Don't forget the things I've placed in front before listing this crop. If you don't have the right farm workers, it's going to cost you more when it comes to management. But because we've worked on getting the farm workers first, and the farm workers you are getting must be experienced. Don't just get any farm workers. If you just, okay, because Family Juliet said we can get 4 farm workers. If you get the ones that don't understand this crop, they must understand this crop. If they don't understand this crop, you may not make your money back. Yes, it's profitable. You can see the way I brought out the profit margin. It's profitable, but if you don't have the right people to understand, even you as a person, you must understand this crop so that once your farm workers are flopping, you can know when to come in. It's your money. Okay, you are the one that knows how you are bringing the money to invest in that thing. So you have to be on ground 247. Also, some people that are saying they have 1 million naira to invest, they might just want to drop the money and go. When you're investing in short-term crops, you need to be available to monitor your crop. I cannot overemphasize on this. It's important. Okay, I hope I've been able to answer your question. Also, if I didn't do justice to it, leave it in the comment section. Also, for our experts in the house, maybe you have an addition to what I said, or you have another crop you would suggest for this particular person to go into, kindly leave it in the comment section for the person. Don't forget, we are working on 1 million naira, 5 months crop, high profitability and less risk. Okay, so for those that also want to invest, if you found this video valuable, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to come again with another expert advice. Maybe once I pick any question in the comment section, I am going to reply you. Okay, if you got value, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notification, and I'm going to see you in my next money making video.